Assalamu alaikum, dear viewers and listeners. You are here with Isratuloli, the researcher. Dear viewers, today we are going to discuss about comparison and contrast of simile and metaphor. In our last two videos, we have discussed about metaphor, its type, function, example, and all the things that could a metaphor have in detail. And we did the same for the simile. In this video, we are comparing and contrasting the simile and metaphor. So, firstly, looking at the origin of both these terms. Metaphor has got its origin in Greek word metaphora, which means to transfer or carry over, while the simile has its origin in the Latin word similis, which means alike or same. Both simile and metaphor talks about the comparisons between two unlike things, but there is a difference lies. Simile, a metaphor is the direct comparison without the use of head word like as or like that has been used in the simile. It is an implied comparison or direct comparison. While simile is also a comparison between two unlike things, but it differs from the metaphor and comparison by the use of words like as or like are used in case of simile, while these words are not used while making comparison in the case of metaphor. For example, we can understand this comparison between simile and metaphor with the help of this mathematical equation betterly, that a metaphor says that let subject A is B, while simply says that A is like B, equation A is like B, but metaphor says that A is directly like B. For example, her smile was sunshine. Her smile was sunshine. Here, her smile is being directly compared with the sunshine, but in the case of simile, this is not. Here simply says that her smile was like sunshine. Here the word like came as a connectors or mediators, but in the case of metaphor, there is a no use of like or as. So hope you have got this point. Then another point is that metaphors are more subtle and require more time to understand. Metaphors require more time to understand. They are hard to understand or hard to get identified, while in the case of simile, they are clear and easy to understand. Similes are clear because they imply the use of like or as. When we see these words, we can say that this is simile. So it is very easy to find out. But in the case of metaphor, they require more reading, more interpretation, and more genius mind. Here, in the case of metaphor, more thinking is required on the part of reader to judge that this figure of speech is metaphor. While in the case of simile, readers can identify it easily with the help of the word like as or at to identify that it is simile. So another difference between simile and metaphor is that metaphor is common and literary writing, while simile is common and everyday writing and speech. So with the this point, this thing make it clear that metaphor is mainly used in literary writing such as poetry, novels, dramas, while simile has got its uses in the common and everyday language and speaking. So metaphor is used to convey deeper meaning, while on the other hand, simile is used to make description more real and logical. So another difference is that the metaphor is more flexible, while simile is more straightforward or less flexible. Another main difference between a simile and metaphor is that metaphor appeals more to intellect, more to intellectual abilities of human minds, while simile appeals more to senses and our imagination. So as in my last video, I said that simile is more logical and more sensical as compared with metaphor, because simile uses the word as or like to make comparison, and in the case of metaphor, we already have learned this thing that there is no use of word like or as. by while making indirect comparison between two unlike things. So in the last of video, we are discussing some of the example of metaphor and simply in order to make the comparison and contrast more clear and more vivid. So example of metaphor is that time is a thief, he is a lion. Here time is being directly compared with thief while he is a lion. The quality of human being is compared, the bravery is being compared with the lion. It is direct comparison between two unlike things, mean human and lion are two unlike things without the use of like or as, so this is metaphor. While in the case of simply we have as busy as B, so the quality of busyness of B is being compared with human being. And these two entities are unlike thing, but this comparison is being made with the use of word as, so it is simply. Another example is that he fights like a lion. Here like represent what? Like represents simply, and here the quality of bravery. Fight represent the bravery is being, the bravery of lion is being compared with the bravery of human being, and these are two unlike things, but this comparison is being made with the use of word like, so it is simile. A literary example of metaphor is from the William Shakespeare famous play As You Like It. The lines goes, all the world is a stage and all the men and women are merely a player. Here life is being compared with stage. Human life is being compared with the play, that human life is like a play where women and men come, they go, they have got their exit and entrances. While the literary example of simile we have got is from a famous William Wordsworth poem, Daffodil. I wandered lonely as a cloud. Here the I represent human entity is being represented with the lonely wandering of clouds. Another example that I have discussed in my last video on simile and greater detail. Oh, my love is like a red, red rose from Robert Burns' poem, Red, Red Rose. So here love is being compared with red, red rose by the use of word like. So this is simply. So dear viewers, hope you have enjoyed this lesson. If you have enjoyed this lesson, then do subscribe my YouTube channel, Israr Tanoli, the researcher, for more interesting videos on literary terms and literature. Have a nice day. Thanks.